Et bonjour YouTube, bienvenue dans cette quatrième VOD de Cathy Rain. On est dans l'église, l'église de la Sainte Trinité.
Impressive window. There's no doubt about it. Those are the smoky lights. It's an altar. You know, the place where they put the sacrificed goats, kids, and other crap.
Je triche un peu avec
I
le bouton
really
espace.
shouldn't. They might burn.
Et il y a des portes. Elles vont être fermées.
Locked.
Et est-ce que par hasard ça m'étonnerait, hein, parce que ça doit pas être des clés comme ça dans les églises, mais bon.
Nope, not the right key.
Après c'est une église qu'ils ont bâtie dans les années 70, donc pourquoi pas.
Locked. Nope, not the right key.
Ok. Il y a plein d'histoires qui s'entremêlent. On va aller interroger Wade. Hein. On va bien voir ce que ça cache tout ça. Ah, c'est le mec d'hier des cellules.
Yep, it's full of trash. Figure that. We meet again, Mr. Homeless Guy.
Homeless? That's the worst thing I ever heard of, and totally untrue.
So, what's up with the trash can? Digging for treasure?
Well, I'm just going through a rough patch. By the way, you owe me $10.
7.
Nah, you agreed to 7.
You're busting my balls here.
Better get those balls checked out in this clinic then.
So cold. Like a stake through the heart.
What do they call you anyway?
Goober. Everyone calls me Goober.
All right, I'm Kathy.
Pleasure to meet you.
So, what's your story anyway?
My story?
Yeah, don't all bums have a story?
For your information, this is all just a dry streak in my showbiz career.
Is that so? I don't recognize you at all.
I used to have more hair.
That I actually believe.
Come on, man. Frankie Gold is my stage name. Surely you must have heard of me.
Not really, no.
Oh, come on. I have starred in dozens of Hollywood movies. The Silence of the Lambert, Jacob's Bladder, The Usual Surprises, Natural Bald Killers.
Not ringing any bells.
Kids these days, no appreciation for quality cinema. Breaks my heart.
Je suis en train de réfléchir sur les films qu'il a cités, si je les ai tous vus. Nature and Born Killer, je sais pas si je l'ai, je sais plus si je l'ai vu. Si. Je l'ai vu mais je dormais à moitié. Faut que je le regarde. Woody Harrelson et Juliette Lewis. Et le troisième, je sais plus ce qu'il a dit.
So, tell me about this acting career of yours.
What about it?
Surprise habituelle.
Tell me about
Je sais pas la
The Silence of Lambert.
Lawrence Lambert, a real estate agent, suddenly turns mute overnight. For weeks, he tries to communicate with customers using a self-invented sign language, only to realize that true love needs no communication at all. He marries his housekeeper, who only knows 2 words in English, yes and clean. In the end, Lawrence dies of a heart attack in the arms of his lovely wife, Consuelo Lambert Vasquez. Based on a true story.
Alors attendez, donnez-moi 2 secondes. Parce que mon briquet vient de mourir. Donc ça, c'était évidemment le silence des agneaux. Hein.
I'm not sure I want to know
Ça, c'est
what
l'école de
Jacob's
Jacob.
bladder is about, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Jacob's Bladder. The tragic story of Jacob Cobb, a schizophrenic man who forms an imaginary romantic relationship with his bladder. During long and joyful monologues on the can, he starts referring to his nether regions by the name of Jenny. Sadly, before Jacob has a chance to elope with his sweetheart, he gets committed to an asylum due to increasingly erratic behavior. After a big fight with his paramour, Jacob refuses to pee for a week and he dies from a ruptured bladder.
Et du coup, le jeu de mots passe pas à la traduction parce que c'est l'échelle de Jacob, ça devient la vessie de Jacob parce que échelle c'est ladder et vessie c'est bladder. Mais voilà, c'est raté. Alors, comment il dit surprise habituelle?
Give me the rundown on the usual surprises.
Ah bah oui, c'est usual suspect.
A lighthearted comedy taking place during the surprise birthday party of a 34-year-old Sid McBacon. The story is told from 8 different perspectives to keep the audience guessing who the protagonist actually is. The movie ends with the biggest surprise of them all. Sid suddenly dies of an epileptic seizure. I guess it's more of a dark comedy.
Et Natural Born Killer. Donc.
Natural bald killers?
Et là c'est bald
It's a
parce que c'est
dystopian
chauve.
vision of the future where people are valued by the quality of their hair. The protagonist, Eddie Zeffid, turns bald in high school. One day, he has simply had enough of all the teasing and the bullying, and he completely snaps and heads out on a scalping spree in search of the perfect head of hair. Eddie makes his way to Mexico for an illegal hair transplant. However, he has an adverse reaction to the anesthesia and he dies on the operating table.
Ce qui est marrant, c'est qu'il y a des éléments qui sont vrais dans les trucs. Parce que Jacob's Ladder, ça parle d'un schizophrène qui s'est créé un monde imaginaire, etc. Usual Suspect, c'est raconté à travers des points de vue multiples, principalement celui de Kevin Spacey, mais à travers les... Quand il raconte son histoire, il y a des gens qui racontent des histoires dans son histoire, donc ça se tient aussi. Et Natural Born Killer, le héros a peu de cheveux et cherche à se venger de son histoire personnelle en butant des gens par-ci par-là.
Why do you always die at the end of your movies?
Typecasting.
Oh, never mind.
Not the cultured type. I understand.
I need to ask you a few questions.
Sounds serious. Ask away.
Do you know what happened to Joseph Rain in 81?
I most certainly do.
What? Tell me.
Ouais, c'est un
Are
mythomane.
you sure you want to know? Not everyone can handle the truth.
Oh, just spit it out.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Abducted by aliens.
Ouais.
I should have known better.
Oh, I saw it, man. A big, huge light. I was a bit drunk at the time, but I had my reasons. My wife had just left me, taking the dog, not to mention I was being conscripted for the war. But I'm telling you, those goddamn aliens took him and they experimented on him. And that's why he was so messed up when they put him back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Non, faut le laisser parler.
Open your mind, man.
Faut lui faire parler de tout et ensuite lui montrer les lumières. Et là, ça, il va entrer en état de choc.
Do you recognize the nickname Cocky?
Why, I used to call myself that back in now. Oh, how I miss that marvelous youthful ego of mine.
Why do I even bother? Do you know who Lily Myers was?
Yep, my dad was the one who found her floating in the lake.
Really? What can you tell me about her?
Ah, geez, not a lot. I mean, teenage girls, man, they're like their own species. Impossible to figure out. Not to mention how that entire family ain't, like, people-friendly.
Now that's an understatement. Nearly started brawling with Sue the first time I met her.
She could sure deal out a mean whooping, that lady.
Là, par exemple, quand il parle de Lily Myers, il est pas dans le mythomane. Donc il y a des sujets qui lui
Do you
parlent.
know who Charles Wade is?
Sure, he's been holed up in this clinic for the last couple of weeks.
You saw Charles Wade go in there?
Well, yeah, I just told you, man.
C'est pas parce qu'il est un peu mythomane
How
qu'il
did
faut...
he look?
Okay,
Justement.
I guess. Still walking, at least.
what do you know about Lily Meyer's art?
Nothing but hearsay. People say it was pretty deranged.
What's your opinion on the Church of the Holy Trinity?
I'd say they're good people. Isaac the priest is, anyway. His dad, Father Bill, on the other hand, though, he and the people he had around him were into some weird shit.
Voilà, ça on veut savoir.
What kind of weird shit?
I don't know, they were like a cult or something, with Billy Praise himself at the top. Really shifty bunch of folks.
Ça c'est intéressant.
Isaac turned it all around when his dad kicked the bucket, made it a proper church.
Interesting. Do you know anyone else who was involved in the old church?
Not really. I tried to stay as far away from those people as possible. Ask Isaac about it. He's a friendly guy.
All right. I might do that.
Ok.
Want to smoke, buddy?
Nah, I got stage 2 lung cancer.
Ah.
I'm keeping it under control with a
Bien sûr.
fruitarian diet.
I don't need to show him that. Do you recognize these men?
That's your granddad, right?
Yeah. What about the other two?
No idea. I think my face blindness is acting up again.
Okay.
Personne ne reconnaît Charles Wade sur la photo.
Do you know what this key opens?
Your heart, mademoiselle?
Oh, brother.
Ah, c'est mignon.
That'd be one raggedy-ass bribery attempt. Do you know
Grosse
anything
pug.
about this flower?
It's red?
Enlightening.
Allez, on passe au truc chelou.
Do you know what this is?
Chinese fireworks, of course. I grew up in Shanghai. I know what I'm talking about.
Il a pas
They used
vraiment
to
vu de
call me
lumière.
Dong Pai, meaning round-eyed baldy. Those were some rough years.
Par contre, peut-être qu'il a vu l'homme
I
rouge.
miss the food, not to mention the women. Got 2 kids down there now, Maylin and Little Ping.
Time to hit the off switch now, buddy. I don't need to show him that.
Mais si. Il est complètement
Okay,
barjot, ça va
that's enough
lui...
serious questions for now.
Alrighty,
Ça lui aurait peut-être déclenché des trucs.
Okay, I'm off.
bye.
C'est tout? Ouais, ok.
Was expecting plastic, but this looks like a real plant. Smoking allowed. Guess this place is a bit behind on healthcare regulations. A calendar from 1991. Guess they really
Oui,
liked that
j'avoue.
year.
Ça fait 5 ans, quoi.
I can't read it from here. No thanks. I have better things to do. Uncomfortable, hard plastic chairs. It's like they're intentionally trying to keep people out. Rows and columns of files. Probably easier to use the computer if I need to do some digging. A computer. They likely keep records of their patients on it. Excuse me, nurse? Hey, nurse! Yeah? Try not to strain yourself.
Whatever. What do you want?
I'm here to see Charles Wade.
Never heard of him. Anything else?
Bullshit. I know he's here. Listen, it's okay. I'm a friend of the family.
No, you're not, and I said he's not here. Don't make me call security.
I need to get rid of her somehow.
Bah, réutiliser Goofer, hein, il nous a servi une fois à faire diversion. Goober, pardon.
Hey, doofus.
Oh, hi.
So, how good an actor are you?
The best. The very best.
You know, that nurse in there, she said she loved you in all those movies. And that she always wished you'd give her a live performance.
I knew it. She always gave me these strange looks. I thought it was contempt, but her face must just be cramping up from shyness.
Yeah, that's definitely it. She'd love to see you act, I'm sure.
I'm gonna have to oblige. Which movie do you think she'd like the best?
Definitely Jacob's bladder.
I'm feeling the pressure.
Il va se faire arrêter pour attentat à la pudeur.
Oh, Jenny, everything is forgiven. You and me were like peas and carrots. I'm just so full of your love that I think I'm about to burst. Jenny, where did you go? Oh, I don't feel so good. Thank you, thank you. You've been a great audience.
That wasn't really an
Ouais.
electrifying performance. I'll have to intervene somehow. Hey, doofus.
Oh, hi.
Donc c'est pas ça qu'il faut que je
Sure.
joue, qui joue. Ah oui, ça,
Natural
si,
bald killers would be the
s'il décide
obvious
de couper les
choice.
cheveux des...
Bald move.
Les jeux de mots sont quand même plus drôles en anglais. Parce que bald c'est chauve et en même temps c'est couillu quoi.
Fernando, you've been such a good friend. I can't thank you enough for making me whole again. Turn this scalp into a breathtaking golden.
I don't want to interrupt the show.
Never seen. Okay.
I don't want to interrupt the show.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Thank you, thank you. You've been a great audience.
Pas très probant tout ça.
That wasn't really.
Bah du coup le silence de Lino puisqu'elle ne répond pas.
Hey,
Ça.
do-
Oh, hi.
Putain, j'ai écouté pourtant les
Hey,
synopsis
sure.
de tous ces faux films là.
probably.
Oh, I'm gonna. Consuelo, how I wish I could speak. I have so many things left to say. My chest, no! It can't be! Hold me! Thank you, thank you. You've been a great audience.
Je me suis vraiment foiré genre 3 fois sur 4. C'est qu'il faut que je le tase.
Hey,
Oh, hi.
hey.
Non,
Sure.
non.
Never mind.
What about
Tell me about.
Lawrence Lambert, a real estate? For weeks, he tries to communicate with. He marries his housekeeper, who only. In the end, Lawrence dies of a heart attack
Voilà.
in the arms of his. Based on a true story.
Oh,
Not the.
hey.
Sure. Oh,
Faut que je lui foute un coup de taser pour simuler la crise cardiaque parce qu'il joue que dalle.
Consuelo, how I wish I could speak. I have so many things left to say. My chest, no!
Good idea, but it wouldn't match his symptom. Not now.
Thank you, thank you. You've been a great audience.
Donc c'est pas une crise cardiaque, faut vraiment que ce soit un truc électrique.
That.
Alors ça doit... Est-ce que c'est pas... Dans le truc de Natural Born Killer.
Hey, do
Oh, hi. What about?
nat.
It's a dystopian. The protagonist, one day, Eddie makes his way to Mexico for an illegal hair transplant. However, he has an adverse.
Non.
Give me the.
A lighthearted comedy. The story is told from 8. The movie ends with the biggest surprise of them
Crise
all.
d'épilepsie.
Sid suddenly died. I
C'est
guess
ça
it's
qu'il me faut.
Oh.
not the
Hey.
Sure.
How about the usual surprises?
Business as usual. I can't believe you guys did all this for me. You know, what's this smell? Bacon? Oh, Bobby, my head hurts. I'm seizing.
Nurse, he's seizing.
Oh shit!
Man, I feel like a total jackass. I'll have to make it up to the poor guy later.
Tirons-en le maximum de bénéfices. Ok.
Employee of the month, Carlita Mendez. Ugh, what a joke. It's that obnoxious nurse.
Carlita Mendez. Mais on n'a pas son mot de passe. Carlita.
No point. I wouldn't even know what room to go to.
Eh oui.
Rows and columns of files.
« 1991 », c'est pour ça qu'elle change pas la... C'est Mendez, 1991. J'ai toujours ma disquette. Mais en quoi ça peut m'aider? Ah bah si. Parce qu'elle a tapé son mot de passe admin. On va tester. Hein.
Crap. Looks like I have to figure out the username some other way.
Autorgador. Autorgador. Voilà. Je cherche Wade. Charles Wade, date de naissance.
Gotcha.
Voilà. C'est le 14 août 1924. 24 août 1995, demande de prise en charge du docteur A. Friedman du centre médical de San Francisco à Cassidy City. Le patient a subi une opération à cœur ouvert réussie avant d'être transféré dans cet établissement à sa demande. Le pronostic initial semble bon. Le patient devrait être totalement rétabli d'ici 6 à 8 semaines. Chambre 6B. Très pratique cette disquette.
It's all right, Claude.
Understood, sir.
So, you managed to find me.
I did.
Well, let's get this over with then. How do you want your pictures? Shall I get some tubes to fill my face with? Will that suffice for your front page?
I'm no journalist. Well, not yet anyway.
Ah, she's but a cub. So, you're hoping for your big break.
Pas du tout.
Surely this must be worth an internship at one of the big papers. Do you want me to call Thompson at the Times and get it over with? I still play golf with him every once in a while.
Moi je veux bien. Hein.
You're assuming a lot, Mr. Wade.
Guilty as charged. It's a stance I find remarkably effective for a man with little time and a tendency to be correct.
You might want to rethink that attitude. I have a history of surprising people.
Is that so? Very well, I'll indulge you for now. Who are you then?
I'm Kathy Rain. Joseph was my grandfather.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I remember. You were at the funeral.
I was.
You were late.
I needed my morning smoke. Besides, it's not like Grandpa was going anywhere.
Oh, just look at her, Claude. She's absolutely fearless. That's Joseph's blood running through her veins.
She certainly has a smart mouth, sir.
I must say, you have me intrigued, Kathy. What can this old man help you with?
Un sacré paquet de trucs.
Do you know anything about what happened to my grandfather in '81?
I wish I did, Kathy. You must know I did everything in my power to help. How do you think Mary Elizabeth could afford all that expensive treatment? MRIs, neurologists, say what you will about Joseph. But he was never rich.
Strange. Grandma never mentioned that to me.
She's just too proud. At first she refused. She was convinced that I had an agenda, that
Ce
there were
n'était pas du tout le
strings
cas.
attached.
La
And
culpabilité.
were there?
Don't be silly. Despite all that had happened, I still loved Joseph dearly. I wanted to help. People from places like this have a deeply rooted mistrust in the rich, passed on for generations.
Ah, on n'aime pas le succès. Hein.
In her eyes, I had become one of them.
So that's all you know about the whole affair?
Are you implying that there's more to know? I left the diagnosis to the professionals. Mrs. Rain accepted the health care, but asked me to stay out of everything else. So I did.
I see. What can you tell me about your friendship with Grandpa?
Joseph was the best friend I ever had. We grew up together, married our high school sweethearts together, went to war together. I can't even begin to count the number of times he's saved my life. I repaid the favor once or twice, but he came up ahead, no doubt.
So, when did you two lose touch? I heard that something happened between you and him. What was it?
The truth is, Brian Rain happened. Sharon
Mes
Evans
parents.
happened.
My parents?
Yes. They ruined everything with their vile, destructive behavior. I couldn't have that around my daughter or my newborn grandson. Joseph was naive. He believed that anyone could be helped, that anyone could be reasoned with, given a chance. He was just too good, bless him. He should have been harder on Brian, more strict.
It's hardly Grandpa's fault. He did everything he could to set my father straight.
Oh, I never claimed to doubt Joseph's commitment, but I'm not going to ignore his flaws either. Your grandfather often used his heart when he should have used his head.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
I believe it is, objectively. But I shouldn't speak ill of the dead. Eventually, my company grew much too large for this little town, and we moved on. Not long after that, your grandfather ended up in that wheelchair. That marked the end of our friendship, for obvious reasons.
Do you recognize the call sign Cocky?
Would be strange if I didn't, since I was the one who coined it. It belongs to a fellow named Jimmy Cochran. He was a coward, really. The nickname is somewhat of a bad joke.
C'est comme ça que ça se passe en général.
Perfect. Thanks.
Jimmy
Tell
Cochran.
me about Jimmy Cochran. Is he still alive?
In a literal sense, he's been held in a mental institution for years.
Let me guess. Since '81?
Either 82 or 83. I'm fairly certain it was early 83.
Do you remember the name of the institution?
Something starting with an E. Emerson, Everton, or similar.
Ingstrom? Ingstrom Psychiatric Hospital?
Yes, that's the one. You know the place,
Oui, parce que c'est ma mère qui y est.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I've passed the building a few times in the city. So, do you know why Jimmy ended up in there?
Some obsessive-compulsive syndrome. He became fixated with circles and started hurting himself, trying to scratch the circles out of his head.
Creepy. I wonder what set him off. I think I'll check the place out tomorrow. Too late to head back to the city now. You bought a number of paintings by Lily Myers. Why?
I'm known to dabble in art from time to time. Martha, my wife at the time, was enamored with the paintings. I believe she first saw them at the high school which the Myers girl attended. Anyway, after the poor girl killed herself, I bought the paintings speculatively. When a young artist with any talent to speak of commits suicide, it can be a wet
C'est de pourriture quand même.
connoisseurs. Shortly after procuring the art, I had it valued by an expert who determined that the value was 3 times the amount I bought it for. Today, I'm sure I would have made my money back tenfold or more if it wasn't for the art theft.
Ouais.
What art theft?
There was a burglary at the mansion I used to own here in town. It was all over the local news at the time.
Well, shit.
Eloquently put.
Ça, peut-être que les shérifs y connaîtront.
Can you tell me about the art theft?
Well, somebody broke in, stole the paintings, and got out. Fairly clumsy job. Lots of broken windows. The strangest thing was that I had a Monet, a Rembrandt, and 2 paintings by Picasso.
Eh oui, parce que c'est ceux-là qui les intéressaient.
But every single painting by an unknown local artist gone.
Et c'est
That
une mise en
can't be a
scène, pas vrai?
coincidence.
Agreed. Somebody wanted those paintings badly.
I assume there was an investigation.
Yes, Sheriff Truman came by with his deputy a few hours later, but they didn't have much luck. They found a few hairs, which turned out to be from Ruffles, the family dog.
Some stunning police work right there.
Indeed. There was a single witness, though, who said he could make out multiple burglars leaving the scene of the crime, but nothing more than that.
So, I take it the case was closed?
Yes. I honestly didn't care much one way or the other, given the fact that my most expensive pieces were safe and sound.
I think I'll have a chat with the sheriff about the matter, if that's okay with you.
Certainly. I'll call ahead and instruct him to...
That'd be
Très
great.
gentil, pardon.
Thanks, Charles.
Oups, j'ai coupé la parole, désolé.
Anytime. But I'm curious. What's your interest in the paintings?
I've learned that my grandfather went to Sue and asked to see them, right before he had his injury.
Is that so? Strange.
What can you tell me about the Church of the Holy Trinity?
They seem like any other church to me. But then again, I'm not their usual clientele. Weddings, baptisms, and funerals are just about what I can muster. And I always leave early.
Do you recognize this, Charles?
Of course. Your grandfather, me, Jimmy Cochran, taken shortly before we went to the war.
You guys look like you just won the lottery or something.
Indeed. We were mere children, with no concept of what we were getting into.
I don't need to show him that. Do you know what this key opens?
You must be truly desperate if you ask random people a question like that.
C'est pas la peine de me
I
railler.
don't need to show him that. I don't need to show him that.
Ah, si, l'homme rouge.
Do you know what this is?
A flower? Why don't you consult a botanist instead of bothering me with this nonsense?
Ça va, calme-toi, je suis dans un point and click. Hein.
What do you see in this picture, Charles?
Fireflies would be my best guess. They can grow terribly large around these parts.
Ok.
Thanks, Charles. That's all I need for now.
You're welcome, Kathy. Come back anytime.
Just some boring landscape paintings. Just some boring landscape paintings. Looks like Wade brought some of his old tombs with him. That guy is huge. I wonder how many cows he eats per day.
Ok. Allons voir le shérif. Pauvre Goober.
Hello, Sheriff. Mind if I ask you a few more questions?
If you must.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is?
Nope.
I don't need to ask him that. Do you know anything about the art theft in the Wade estate?
Yes, Mr. Wade phoned ahead about that. Lenny!
Yes, boss.
Get the report from the burglary in the Wade estate back in '86?
On it, boss.
J'aurais pu y aller tout seul,
There
toute
you
seule.
go,
Hein.
Kathy.
Thanks, buddy.
Alors, qu'est-ce que ça m'indique? Le 11 mars 86 à 1h12, l'alarme de la propriété des Wade se déclenche, la maison est alors vide et les voisins contactent les forces de l'ordre. 11 mars 86 à 2h04, les agents de police arrivent sur les lieux et observent plusieurs fenêtres brisées. Une fouille du domaine et de ses environs ne révèle aucune trace des intrus. 12 mars 86, 2h20, un témoin identifié comme étant un certain Franklin Goldfarb déclare avoir vu plusieurs cambrioleurs quitter la scène du crime. 12 avril 86 à 12h15, Charles Wade arrive à Conwell Spring pour faire sa déposition officielle. Donc un mois plus tard, après avoir examiné la maison, il déclare que des tableaux d'une valeur totale de 15 000 $ ont été dérobés. 26 avril 86, 14h, les tableaux en question n'ont été repérés dans aucun des cercles connus de Russell. Enquête close en raison de l'absence de pistes.
I gotta find this Goldfarb guy. Maybe he knows more about the burglary.
Bizarre urge to play stupid all the time.
Oh, I never play stupid, Sheriff.
Guess that settles it then.
Hello, Does the name Franklin Goldfarb mean anything to you?
Never heard of him. Anything else?
Putain, il est pas très utile.
I don't want to show him that. Do you know what this is?
Ah, it's just some kids playing pranks with flashlights.
Sacrément vénère. Et ça?
Do you recognize this flower?
Matter of fact, I do. It's a local endangered plant with mild narcotic properties.
Yeah? Have you come across any users in the area?
Sure, but it's a bit tricky to do anything about it. Using it as a substance is technically illegal.
Ah,
Alors
so
que l'espèce t'envoie
the
dedans.
illegal part is picking it in the first place.
Yes, knowingly picking the flower is a crime, according to the Endangered Species Act of 1973.
Gotcha, thanks.
Faut que j'en prenne à un moment, pas vrai?
He's new in town. I don't think he knows those men. I probably shouldn't. He might ask where I got it from. That's all for now.
Good.
Lenny, toi tu vas m'être plus utile. Parce que tu es plus sympathique.
Hey, Lenny.
Hello, Kathy. What's up?
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is?
Not really, Kathy. Sorry.
I don't need to ask him that now. Nah, I don't want to ask him about that. Does the name Franklin Goldfarb mean anything to you?
Sounds familiar, but I can't place him.
C'est pas Goober par hasard.
I probably shouldn't. He might ask where I got it from. Hey, Lenny, do you recognize these men?
Not really. Sorry.
Do you know what this is?
I have no idea. Looks creepy, whatever it is. Where did you get it?
Grandpa had it hidden away in the attic.
Probably for a good reason, then. Be careful out there.
Hey, Lenny, do you recognize this flower?
Yeah, I accidentally inhaled pollen from one of them when I was a kid. I remember being sick and delirious for days.
Pendant plusieurs jours.
Scary. Where did you come across this flower?
Somewhere in Conwell Woods. Not sure where exactly.
All right.
Ça, c'est pas le problème, je l'ai trouvé de toute façon.
I don't want to show him.
Ok.
Well, gotta go.
See ya.
Je vais aller chercher l'annuaire chez mamie. Chercher Goldfarb. Et Cochrane. Non, Cochrane, il est à l'hôpital psychiatrique. Mais peut-être qu'il y a de la famille.
Nah, nothing like... No Goldfarb in here. Maybe he moved? I should ask around and see if anyone knows him. No result. Nah, no.
Non, c'est une connerie. J'allais leur demander où était Jimmy Cochrane.
Hi.
Alors que...
All right.
il est à l'hôpital psychiatrique. Non, c'est Goldfarb qu'il faut que je trouve, là. Que je traque. Donc on va demander à mamie, et ensuite on ira demander à Suzanne. À Sioux. Et au père à la fin.
Oh, hello, dear.
There are a few things I need...
Very well.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is? He was a friend of Grandpa's.
I believe he teaches at the flight school these days.
I don't think so, at least not anymore. I was told he was placed in a mental facility.
Really? He always struck me as a kind man, maybe a bit nervous. and
Après, il a
on edge,
vieilli aussi.
but crazy.
There's more. I found out that Jimmy asked Grandpa for help not long before Grandpa ended up in that wheelchair. Jimmy sounded really desperate. I'm sure what happened to Grandpa that night had something to do with his cry for help.
You should go find the man then. Surely he must know something.
That's the plan. I just wondered if there's anything else you think I should know about him.
Not really. We haven't stayed in touch since Joseph was injured. I know that he had a wife, Agatha, and a son, James. Agatha passed away from cancer years ago, but as far as I know, James still lives in the city with his family.
Okay, thanks, Grandma.
Ok.
I don't see a reason to ask her. Does the name Franklin Goldfarb mean anything to you?
Oh, that poor man. He used to be an upstanding citizen.
C'est
you know.
Goober.
Now he's constantly drinking and keeps babbling on about that imaginary acting career of his.
Sad thing. Do you know where I can find him?
He's homeless, dear. Lost his job a few years ago and never really got back on his feet.
Okay, now I know who you're talking about. Thanks, Grandma. Looks like I'm gonna have a chat with Goober.
Mais sauf que
Well, gotta go, Gramps.
Bye, Kathy.
je ne sais pas où il est passé. Depuis que je l'ai électrocuté. À l'église peut-être? Non.
Hello, Isaac.
I'm all ears, my child.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is?
I don't recognize that name, no.
Do you know anything about an art theft at the Wade estate in the 80s?
I have just a vague memory of reading about it in the paper.
Do you know who Franklin Goldfarb is?
I'm afraid not, my child.
Tu es inutile.
That's all I...
May the Lord...
Attention, il n'y a pas 15 000 endroits. On peut retourner à la clinique, voir s'il y est retourné. La porte est fermée, peut-être que l'infirmière y est retournée. Ouais, peut-être qu'elle peut me dire où est-ce qu'il est passé.
I need a word, Miss Mendez.
Wait, how do you know my name?
It's written on that board behind you, genius.
You have the eyesight of a bald eagle or something?
What can I say? I'm a freak of nature. What happened to Goober, anyway?
Who?
The guy who had the seizure?
Oh, he ran off somewhere. Kept babbling about a religious near-death experience.
Okay, thanks.
Et je viens tout juste de l'église. On se fout de ma gueule. On y retourne, s'il y est pas, on essaye la réserve. Mais il y est.
Hello again, Goober.
You again? Are you stalking me, girl? You pop up everywhere I go. I'll try to tone down the charm, but I can't promise anything.
Huh, yeah, you're quite the charmer.
I know. I just said that, man.
Listen, I feel kind of bad about the electrocution.
Alors c'est une
Oh,
électrisation
that's
plutôt.
what it was. What a cherry on top of my stellar performance.
Yeah, it was...
Parce que
pretty
l'électrocution,
convincing.
ça implique la mort.
So what brings you to the house of God? Come to repent?
I'm afraid that ship has long since sailed, buddy. I had a few things I wanted to ask you about, though.
Shoot, Missy!
Your real name is Franklin Goldfarb, right?
Oh, nobody calls me that.
Regardless, I know for a fact that you were a witness to a burglary a few years back, at the Wade Estate.
Yeah, what about it?
Why don't you tell me what you saw exactly?
I heard the alarm go off, glass breaking, then I saw 3 guys running away, carrying a bunch of stuff.
What did they look like?
It was dark, I don't know, they were definitely 3 big, bulky guys. They
what?
Oh, nothing, that's it. Didn't see anything else.
T'as vu un truc
Bullshit.
bizarre?
Spit it out.
Well, one of those guys dropped his ring when running away. I sort of pawned it.
A ring? What kind of ring?
Platinum with an inscription. 2 letters, B
H.
something. Man, I don't remember. My photographic memory stopped working in 1979.
Which pawn shop was that?
Pete's Pawning and Plumbing. It closed down a long time ago, though. Owner left town. There's a coffee shop back there now.
Too bad. Guess that's a dead end. Thanks anyway. Didn't I see 2 letters fitting that
Mais si.
description recently? Not on a building. It was something small. Did the inscription on the ring look anything like this?
Wow, actually exactly like that.
Any idea what BH stands for?
Beehive,
Brotherhood.
bed high, big head.
C'est certainement Brotherhood.
I don't need to ask him about that. I should probably confront him directly about him being a witness. Okay, that's all for now.
See ya.
C'est les membres de l'ancienne église.
Hello,
c'est
Isaac.
ça.
I've got a few more questions for you.
I'm all ears, my child.
Do you know what BH means? It's inscribed on this lighter.
I'm sorry, but no.
Putain, mais...
That's all I need for now.
May the
Ah, je suis allé voir grand-mère il y a pas longtemps, on va aller voir Sue. Je suis sûr qu'elle pourra nous dire des trucs. Qui c'est qui nous a parlé de l'ancienne église? Mais c'est Goober.
Oh, it's you again. Come on in.
Lily, moi et l'homme rouge.
That must be Lily. She seems very happy. Is this how Nathan still sees himself? As a little boy?
Putain, j'aurais dû faire ça depuis longtemps.
Looks like Nathan knows the strange red man. I need to talk to him about this.
Bah mais il est jamais là.
A bald man dressed in red. Oh, creepy. I had a few more questions, Sue.
Shoot.
I don't need to ask her about that. Did you know that somebody stole Lily's paintings from Wade?
Huh? I knew he got robbed a few years back, but I thought he still had them all.
I don't need to ask her about that.
Ah bon?
Do you know who the Red Man is?
Oh, that's just Nate's imaginary friend. The Red Man has been around ever since my boy was little.
I see. So there's no actual person in town he could be referring to?
No way! According to Nathan, the Red
C'est des
Man
vampires.
hasn't changed in 30 years.
Des créatures synthétiques.
The Red Man actually exists. I met him in the forest.
What? That's crazy talk. Stop kidding around. I am not in the mood.
I think I'm gonna head off now.
Sure thing, little cat. Come back anytime.
Putain, si j'avais fait les dessins, oui, il faut que je présente à Goober l'homme rouge. Lui, il est dans tous les délires. Il est très intéressé par tous les délires chelous. Ça va lui évoquer quelque chose. Puis j'en parlerai au prêtre aussi. Peut-être qu'il trouvera enfin que je lui trouverai enfin une utilité. Sinon ensuite c'est mamie.
Hi, Goober.
Shoot!
I don't need to ask him about... Okay.
See ya!
Hello,
I'm all...
This may sound strange, but have you heard of or seen a strange man dressed in red?
Only our Lord and Savior Jesus. Surely his rags were drenched in blood as he lay upon the cross.
That's not what I meant. I mean someone here, in Conwell Springs.
Are you joking? I haven't seen a person like that, no.
That's all I need.
May the...
Tu ne sers vraiment à rien. Hein. Ok, mamie du coup. Et ensuite on va au cimetière. Mamie, elle sait peut-être des trucs sur BH. Et après, l'homme rouge, dans mon rêve, il était dans son salon. Donc,
Oh,
peut-être que ça va lui parler.
There are a few things I need to ask you, Grandma.
very well.
Do you recognize the acronym BH? It's on Dad's lighter.
Yes, dear, it means the Black Hats.
Black Hats.
They're those ruffians on motorcycles whom your father associated with.
Oh, his biker gang. That makes sense. What can you tell me about the Black Hats?
I refuse to talk about those hoodlums. They turned your father into a horrible person.
Ça sera au shérif, il
You
faudrait
should
que je
stay
demande.
far away from them, Kathy. They're awful people, just awful.
I don't see a reason to ask her. See you later.
Take care, dear.
Tu as rêvé que l'homme rouge il était dans son salon et ça te suffit pas comme raison pour l'interroger dessus? Je vais faire un tour au cimetière parce que j'avais vu des lettres Au cimetière. Non. C'est pour ça que je conduis un chopper, c'est parce que mon père c'était un biker. Et c'est une référence à Full Throttle. Non, c'était pas sur une tombe. Il n'y a pas le gamin.
Rest in peace, Grandpa. A family mausoleum. Isaac's.
Et tu réagis pas au fait que c'est le nom du curé? Ok, rien au cimetière.
Hey, Lenny.
Hello, Kathy.
What can you tell me about the Black Hats?
They've caused us trouble from time to time, but they've been kind of quiet lately. We put a few of their captains in the slammer over the years, but we never managed to find enough dirt on their leader. Bo Brunson. Big Bo.
Big Bo.
Do you know where I can find them?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just find a map.
Got it. Thanks.
Ok.
Do you know anything about a weird bald guy dressed in red around here?
You're joking, right?
Oh, never mind. Well, gotta go.
See ya.
Et le shérif, il a rien à me dire sur les Black Hats. Ou sur l'homme en rouge.
Hello. What can you tell me about the Black Hats?
Why, you care to join? I'm sure they'd be real impressed by your big bike, but that's a man's club.
Let's just say I have a healthy curiosity.
I'd say your curiosity borders on mental illness. You have a death wish? Bikers don't mess around with little girls.
You gonna help me or not, Sheriff?
Not really. Go bother Lenny with it.
Do you know anything about a weird bald guy dressed in red around here?
What the hell are you talking about?
Never mind. That's all for now.
Good.
Ok. Et bah du coup, Lenny nous a donné le clubhouse des Black Hats, si j'ai bien compris. Voilà. Et je pense que c'est un bon endroit pour arrêter cette VOD. Merci YouTube d'avoir suivi cette 4ème VOD sur Cathy Rain. On se retrouve très bientôt pour aller rendre visite aux Black Hats. A plus.